Hey everybody, I see folks looking at their watches, so I'll try not to take very long, but I'm a little bit emotional standing here. I'm a child of Stroud, so I was born and raised in these valleys up on Busy Road, and I grew up going to the Fairford protests. Anti-Iraq war, yes, at the back, the Stroud peace movement, and we had 10,000 people in Stroud. Huge march in Iraq, and we took bus after bus after bus. The whole of Stratford Park Leisure Centre was full, and I was but a wee one. And I was actually recently up at the most recent national demonstration for Palestine, and it was 22 years to the day. So I just turned 30. I'm the old man of the youth nowadays in Stroud. But 22 years ago on that day, I was walking around London as part of 1 million people. And that was one of the biggest protests we've seen. The current Palestine movement is just as big, it's massive. I was part of the team who started Extinction Rebellion Youth. So we got that off the ground when a group of young people in exile were saying, we really need some space of our own within this movement. It's beautiful, it's powerful, but there's an awful lot of grey hair around. And we really need some of our own space. So I came in when I was about 24, we did that, it was really, really beautiful. And since then, we've built lots of relationships around the country, and so now the main project I run is called The Rise, the Radical Youth Space for Education. And we are probably one of the only hubs in the UK that does youth activist education. So we try and bring young people together across movements, connect the climate folks with the Occupy people, with the students, with the feminists, and we say, what are we learning? Because we understand that we as a generation have an awful long way to go to change the world. One of the banners when we were doing XI Youth that we used to hold up said, are we the last generation? And it was a fucking crushing question. To sit with 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, and see them understand the true gravity of the situation they were being fed, that they were being handed, that their inheritance was as toxic as it really was. And luckily, we had a movement that would hold us. Most people can't take that. The reason climate anxiety is destroying young people's mental health is because they are on their own, and we as a community do not have the movements necessary to hold them, to make them feel like their angst can turn to action and be powerful. And so this is beautiful because it celebrates that and all those things. I always work with the young people, and they're always asking what next. They are young, that is what they do. They do not look behind, they look forward. And so for me, protest is a cry for dignity. It is a cry to matter in this bleak and broken world. It is a cry not to be ignored any longer, and in that it can be profoundly, profoundly healing for those of us who I would say in this country are very used to our dignity being crushed. I think of this like a small child. The child who still knows how to cry and scream, which we all know is better than the child who has been forced into silence. That child who says, I deserve better, and so I will shout at you when you go away. Yeah? And that's what protest is. It allows us to stand in the street and say we deserve better, that we deserve to be cared for, and that we cannot allow this to happen anymore. Too many people in this country say can't complain. You can complain. You should complain. Things are shit. Let's complain. And protest is this opportunity for us. And as much as it allows these stifled voices within us to be free, it can be hugely healing. It's not a comfortable healing. It's not like all sunshine and rainbows. These are not beautiful images. They are beautiful images, but they are not peaceful images. They are not you sitting on your own. They are you exposing yourself to the world and being willing to be changed. Anyone who's done some real therapy knows that healing can be a scary word. But protest allows us to heal, for it is us coming back into life itself. No longer cowed or scared anymore, but daring to raise our chins and, like the rest of the world, scream loud. Like the birds and the beasts who know they live here on this earth and they know their dignity and they scream loudly as they do. And this is what we can learn when we raise that voice again, when we get in the streets on our own with each other. And this is where I say, and yet. For to carry on the metaphor, what happens when the child learns to scream again, but the parents are sociopathic elites bent on the looting of our world? Do we really think that they'll listen? Will they turn around? Will they come back to that child and say, don't worry, we've learned the error of our ways and we will change? No. And I think for me, this has been one of the biggest pieces of my journey and of my healing. For when we are children, we must ask our parents to care for us. But let us be very careful, for in this world, in this moment, there are no adults coming to save us. No matter how loud we cry, We cannot keep giving our power away to those who will not change. And for me, that is the uncomfortable truth of the healing of protest. Is that as we learn to stand again in that dignity, we learn that actually it is only us. It is communities in the grassroots who will restore that dignity before it will happen when we restore our own power. Starmer's not giving it back. Trump's not giving it back. All of these folks, we must challenge and we must meet them in the streets to stop their violence, but it is us getting together to build power. And so I say, let's raise our voices. Let's do this healing, especially the young ones. Let's take them with us when we go to protests. I learned my dad's phone number and I still remember it because he always wrote it on my arm when I went to a protest. And let us use this to hold back that violence. But let's keep moving through protest, with protest, to lives of true resistance. To lives that truly build our power. To first scare those in power and then to take it from them. And to bring it right back into our hands and into our community. For this is true dignity. The cry that protest is answered when we take that power back, and this is where the healing can take us. So let's not get stuck begging for change, but let us build a new world ourselves, as the millions and millions of our siblings around the world are doing. So let us take our cowed voice, let us bring it to the street, let us bring it together, let us be loud, let us heal that part of us that says we do not deserve it, and then let's move right on down the road and let us walk to freedom, people. Because it's a brutal world out there, and we can do it together.